The Delaware County Historical Society presents Oak Grove resident Ruth Emma Murray Dodd. As you can see by the map, Ruth was buried in the forest section.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Have you seen my little girl, Ruthie? She has long brown hair, and she has eyes that sparkle. She's 13 years old. She's such a sweet child. Oh, I'm desperately looking for my little girl. Oh, my goodness. Oh, excuse me, sir. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Ruth Emma Murray Dodd. I came 18 hours on the train with my sister Sarah and my brother Charlie and their families. We came to Wheaton, Illinois to see my sister Mary for a Christmas holiday. Oh my goodness gracious, you might know her husband, Dr. Charles Owens. He's a physician at the Homeopathic Hospital in Chicago. You see, sir, we're the 4 remaining children of Simon Murray from Delaware, Ohio. And we brought our 5 children, ages 23 down to 9, with us. Oh, but the most exciting part of the whole day was we got to go to the new majestic Iroquois Theater and see Mr. Eddie Foy in the Mr. Bluebird pageant. Mr. Bluebird pageant was sold out to capacity of 2,000 with another 300 people also. Patron tickets were also sold for standing room only for the aisleways and behind the audience. Oh my goodness, we purchased 12 tickets for our family for December 30th, 1903. As we approached this beautiful, majestic building, we could see that it had huge, enormous doors that opened outward. There were 30 sets of these doors on the building, and it was touted as the safest theater that had ever been built. However, we thought it was a little unusual that 12 of the doors were barred shut to keep non-paying patrons out, and they were an unusual 4 feet above the ground. Well, we looked up and we saw partially built fire escapes, but my goodness gracious, they looked just like spiders hanging onto a wall that might be hanging onto a door. At 3 o'clock, we were sitting in our seats and we were just amazed at the gauze and the gossamer and the painted ladies in their scantily clad costumes. And we were equally astounded by the golden wood interior and all of the beautiful paper and pasteboard scenery. At 3:15, we were watching the double octet sing in the pale moonlight when all of a sudden we saw a spark come up out of one of the calcium lights and jump onto the scenery behind it. One of the ladies in the chorus fainted, and then a second lady fainted, and somebody said that they had heard an explosion. We knew the fire had erupted. Well, the stagehands tried to beat the fire out with their sticks to no avail. And then they jumped up and they tried to pull down the big asbestos screen to contain the fire between the audience and the stage. Well, after 3 failed attempts at pulling down the screen, those of us in the audience up in the balcony became very nervous and started to have an understanding of what was really about to happen. My brother-in-law, Dr. Charles Owens, why, he showed great presence of mind, and he stood up and he said to everyone around his neighbors, and he said, "Please, please, please remain calm." And then he sat down, and the next thing, all of a sudden the fire and the flames started to get higher and higher and higher and encroach upon him. So he picked his little boy William up and he ran to the aisleways. But because of the desperation of the crowd and all of the smoke and flames, he was taken down to the ground. While down in the clear air, he revived. And then he jumped up and he made another attempt to get out of the building. After 2 more such attempts, a policeman dragged him out of the building. But unfortunately, he lost sight of his little boy William, and thereafter I lost sight of him. Why, those of us in the balcony, we ran around and looked for ladders, and we looked for different things that could fight the fire. And some people even ran over to the balcony edge and tore down the metal restraints, and they jumped 35 feet, either to their death or to be maimed permanently. Pandemonium arose, and then everyone ran to the hallways. One lady I saw picked up her 1-year-old baby and threw her to the side of the hallway so that she could plow through the 7-foot-high wall of corpses to get herself out of the building. As we reached the exit, we could feel and hear the second balcony above us collapse. And all of a sudden, everything just went pitch black. And we heard people screaming and crying and begging God for his mercy. In the pitch black, I groped for my beautiful, beloved daughter, Ruthie, and amongst all of the people who were stuck in the hallway exit, and all I could feel was a mound of older adults, and the small children were taken in. I took in 3 deep breaths, but all I could take in was smoke, fire, and flames. As the flames encroached up over my back, all I could think of was my beloved daughter, Ruthie, and I wondered if the anxiety that she felt at not finding me was the same anxiety that I felt at not finding her, for I knew my own misery all too well. And then I perished. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen my little girl, Ruthie? She has long brown hair and a sparkling smile. She's such a sweet child.
The Delaware County Historical Society is supported by dues, grants, donations, and volunteers. We welcome your help with any of our worthwhile projects.